Joining me now is Uri Gruenbaum. He's the CEO at TipRanks. Uri, great to have you.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
All the way in from Tel Aviv. We're so appreciative, and it's so great to see you in person.
Thank you. Likewise. I'm happy to be here.
We're happy to have you. So let's talk about what you are seeing in the market right now, what the data is showing you, and some of the trends that are out there.
Sure. So we see a lot of retail activity recently. Like there's a very big trend, kind of like what we've seen in 2021, where the average Joe is checking daily his portfolio like it used to be after a few quiet years. Obviously, we see a big trend around AI. Everybody's checking, the NVIDIA stocks, but not just in the semiconductor space. We see a lot in the quantum space and the quantum computing. Yesterday, Microsoft announced that it will be releasing a new chip, and it's going to be in production in a few years, and so it's not a few decades ahead, and suddenly we've seen millions of people visiting the Microsoft page and looking at it, so it is trending. Since the election, the financial sector has become more and more attractive for the average investor, something that they never looked at before. So if I had to choose the three most popular segments today with the retail investors, it would be AI and quantum investing, which is around the same space, and of course the financial industry, which should be thriving now when Trump is planning to deregulate the entire markets.
And your platform, TipRanks, that you run is unique because it does look at data on stock analysts and ranks them based on their performance, right? Based on their calls.
So actually 12 years ago, we were the first company in the world to launch a product that measures and ranks financial experts based on what they said. We call it a financial accountability engine. And it was very invaluable for investors because, as you know, the average investor is very responsive. So whenever he sees that, this analyst from Goldman Sachs upgrades the stocks, he went ahead and bought it. What we did that was very different is that we actually showed him how good is that analyst based on his performance. So we created a data-driven mechanism for investors to make advice. The service became very popular. So since it was launched in 2014, it grew significantly, and so in the last month alone, we had more than 9 million unique users who came to TipRanks to get access to data.
Yeah, it's incredible. And so I want to talk about some of the sectors that you noted that are hot sectors right now. So AI and quantum certainly is one of them. Within your database, who are some of the top analysts on those sectors?
Okay. So I can share a list of who are the top analysts in general, and
okay,
I think so if you look at the top 5 analysts, number 1 would be Mark Hughes from Truist Financial. He's actually in the financial sector, and he covered a lot of the insurance companies that have been doing very well. Number 2, we have Michael Hunter from Berenberg Bank. Then we have Chris Kotowski from Oppenheimer. These are the top 3 from over 8,000 sell-side analysts, and these 3 actually cover the financial sector.
Yes.
So even though you had companies like NVIDIA and AMD that took off this year and did, thousands of percents, still the top analysts are in the financial sector. The top analysts that actually cover the tech sector with NVIDIA and all the AI companies included are Matt Ramsey from TD Cowen, Hans Mosman from Rosenblatt Securities, and Atif Malik from Citibank.
Interesting.
Now, it's no coincidence that other than Atif from Citibank, all the other analysts come from smaller banks. And the reason is that if you look at the analysts that work for the big banks, for the bulge bracket, then the way they distribute ratings is that they have some buy ratings, some hold ratings, and then some sell ratings. So if you look at the big banks, I'd say about 20 to 25% of their ratings are sell ratings, which is pretty rare. When you go down to the tier 2 or tier 3 banks, almost all the ratings would be buy and then some hold. So when the markets go up, like they did in the last 10 years, the analysts that were more bullish have actually a much better chance to outperform than analysts that, will be more transparent and say, okay, this is actually a good stock to sell.
Interesting. So in terms of, or the data that goes into this, is it analyst notes? How do you make these decisions based on the inputs?
So when we started the company, actually, as you can imagine, no bank really wanted to work with us. We'd actually start getting cease and desists of, take our analyst off your platform. We developed a natural language processing algorithm that would scrape all the information from the web. Fast forward 7 years, we became the standard in Wall Street for ranking analysts. And so I think in the last 5 years, we're getting daily mails and calls from the banks and from analysts set up onto your system, because otherwise we're not getting projects in Wall Street. So I think that today we're probably getting 80% of our data directly from banks. And then another 20% we're just collecting from everywhere else.
Yeah.
We have a verification process to see that the information that we're getting is redundant or not, and if it's accurate or not.
Yeah.
And that's how we became the company that has the most comprehensive solution for analyst ratings in the world.
It is such great intel, Uri. And of course, you're here for NYSE Partnership Day.
I am very excited about that.
We're excited as well. What are partnerships that you're keen to collaborate on?
So our goal is to level the playing field for the average investor. That's where we're very focused on. Of course, we have a lot of institutional clients, hedge funds, brokers, banks, all the big names, they license data from us, but we really care about the average Joe. And I think that NYSE has the brand and the reach to help us in our mission. So what we would want to do is we would want to bring as much of our unique data sets that are usually accessible only to institutional investors and distribute it through NYSE as well for retail investors.
Uri, it's great to see you. Always a pleasure. We've known each other for a long time,
right.
And your data is so helpful as we look to make sense of the stock market on a daily basis. That's Uri Gruenbaum. He's the CEO at TipRanks. Thank you.
Thank you very much.